distribution. Okay, and we have a bunch of distribution: Poisson, exponential, binomial, and so forth. Okay, don't worry about it yet. Wait until that one. And we also going to talk about the joint probability distribution. Probability distribution is for one variable, and joint probability distribution will be two or three or four variables. And I think in this class we are going to discuss only two random variables. And we talk about mean and variance. Mean is the center of the data. Variance is the width of the data. Okay, that's about mean variance. And as I talk about, we have some random variables that are discrete, and spatial actually means they have the name. For example, uniform, Poisson, binomial. That's going to be the spatial discrete random variable. What about discrete? Discrete is when you have the data that are not continuous. Not continuous, it means if you have one, it's not going to be 1.01, so 0.02 is going to go to something like 1.5, and then 2, 2.5, something like that. So you can see that you have the void over here. Okay, there's no data between 1 and 1.5, and 1.5 to 2, this is another void over here. Basically, you have the gaps. Okay, if you have the gaps like this, then it is going to be discrete. Okay, for example, you have the time over here on your computer or on your iPad right now is 9:10, right? What's the next value? The next value is going to show on the top left of my corner on my iPad. What's going to be 9:11. You can see that you have a void here, right? It's not going to be 9:10.2, something like that. So it's going to be a jump between the values. If it have like this, it's called discrete. Okay, so if it is discrete, we can have special ways to do it. And on the other hand, if your data doesn't have the void, it can be continuous, whatever you have. For example, if you have a ruler, okay, you can see that you have 0 here, 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, and so forth. And you can see that if you measure something, it could be lying somewhere here, or it could be here, it could be somewhere here. You can see that it could be anywhere on your ruler. So in this case, it's going to be continuous. Okay, it doesn't have the void. Okay, it doesn't have the gaps. So for example, temperature, distance, and so forth will be falling in this continuous. And we are going to study this most important distribution in this course, which is the normal distribution, which is going to look like this. And now it's time to study statistics, which include parameter estimation, sampling distribution. Sampling distribution is going to be the distribution of chi-square, t distribution, f distribution, and so forth. And the two here will be included in the final exam. This is one question in the final exam. Confidence interval and hypothesis testing, also one question in the final exam. Also, this one is, since this is the most important concept in this course, is also one question in the final exam. So what about the class policies? You have to check the updates and announcement in the Microsoft team. I'm gonna assign homework and everything in the Microsoft team. And exam and quizzes, actually for this one, it's gonna be open. Okay, open, everything open all the time. For if we have online, otherwise, if we switch to the on campus, so it's gonna be closed book and closed notes. Student, you can use anything, calculator, anything. This one is not applied because this one is for the on-site in campus. And there will be no makeup quizzes in any case. Okay, if you don't come to the quiz, you're gonna get 0. But for the exam, if you don't come to the exam, you can ask for the late exam. But if you have the late exam, I'm going to make another set of papers for you because you have more time to study than your friends. So it's going to be more difficult than your friends' questions นะถ้าใครมาเลท exam อาจารย์ก็จะถือว่าก็ทำได้นะครับไปขอ petition ทำได้แต่ว่าเนื่องจากเรามีเวลาอ่านมากกว่าเพื่อนแล้วก็อาจารย์จะทำข้อสอบให้มันยากกว่าเพื่อนนิดนึงแล้วกันนะดีไหม okay then also one thing you have to submit the assignment on time. So it's going to be 1 week if it is assigned. We have two type of assignment. One is called the in class. This one is submit on that day, within the day. Within the day. So let's say our class start from 9, right, to 10:30. I'm gonna have it submitted by 11 is gonna be the deadline. All right, I give you half an hour to submit, and don't ask if you miss it. 11 means actually 10:59. Don't wait until 11 and submit. It's gonna be too late. You have to submit before, which is 10:59. And don't expect that 10:59 you start clicking submitted. It's not gonna be on time นะครับการให้ส่ง 11 โมงเนี่ยแปลว่าเราต้องส่ง 10 โมง 59 นะครับและไม่ใช่ 10 โมง 58 มาส่งอย่างนี้ก็ไม่ได้นะเพราะว่ามันไม่ทันอ่ะชั่วโมงนาทีหนึ่งถ้าคุณโชคดีก็อาจจะทันแต่ถ้าโชคร้ายมันเกิดหมุนขึ้นมาหรือว่าอะไรขึ้นมาเนี่ยก็จะไม่ทันเห็นไหมส่งเนิ่นๆนะครับส่ง you have to start submitting early okay but sometimes if you cannot submit because of the problem in the Microsoft team you have to start trying the browser log on to the browser in the Microsoft team using the browser and submit over there sometimes it's gonna help นะครับถ้าเราส่งในโปรแกรม Microsoft Teams ในแอปมันอะบางทีมันส่งไม่ได้มันจะerror มันมีเหมือนกันถ้าเกิดอย่างนั้นให้ใช้เปิดเบราว์เซอร์ขึ้นมาแล้วส่งในเบราว์เซอร์ส่วนใหญ่มันจะได้โอเคนะ and don't come and ask for late homework submission okay if you ask for late homework submission you are gonna get -1 -1 here is -1%. Okay, because I want you to submit on time and it's gonna be in the system it's gonna be in the Microsoft Teams so that I can check. Okay, if you say you cannot submit, it's past the due date, I cannot accept your assignment because it's gonna be somewhere, it's not in the system. So it's gonna be more difficult. Don't send me in the chat that hey Ajahn, this is my homework, I cannot submit. No, you have to start early. Okay, if the problem is related to the Microsoft team, I can extend the deadline and so forth. We can talk about it. But if it's not a Microsoft team problem, then I cannot accept it. นะครับถ้ามันไม่ใช่ปัญหาเกี่ยวกับ Microsoft Team เนี่ยอาจารย์จะไม่รับนะครับยกเว้นถ้า Microsoft Team มันมีปัญหาจริงๆเนี่ยเดี๋ยวอาจารย์จะ extend deadline ให้นะไม่ต้องห่วงคือถ้าไม่ใช่ความผิดเราเนี่ยเราได้ส่งแน่นอนนะครับยกเว้นมีอย่างเดียวที่เรานั่นคือเราส่งช้าอย่างเดียวเลยโอเคนะแล้วไม่ต้องมาถามนะเพราะว่าถามปั๊บเนี่ยไม่ได้ส่งด้วยแล้วก็จะโดนตัดคะแนน1เพราะว่าอาจารย์เจอประจำทุกเทอมเลยจะบอกมาแบบอาจารย์ส่งไม่ได้มาเป็น10เลยอ่ะโอ้โหอาจารย์ไม่รู้จะไปเก็บที่ไหน10อันเนี้ยแล้วมันไม่ใช่เป็นกระดาษอ่ะมันเป็นไฟล์เนี่ยไม่รู้จะไปไว้ตรงไหนเพราะมันไม่ได้อยู่ในระบบ Microsoft Teams นึกออกไหมso please understand me if you say hey John why don't you just accept it if I have 10 students doing this every single one I'm gonna have 40-50 assignment that I have to keep track I do it alone so I'm alone here so if you guys have suppose all of you have one question, only one question, all of you. I have to answer like 20 questions. Please understand me at this point นะโปรดเข้าใจอาจารย์ด้วยนะครับเพราะว่าอาจารย์มีคนเดียวถ้านักศึกษา20คนถามอาจารย์แค่คนละ1คำถามเนี่ยอาจารย์ต้องตอบ20เลยนะคุณแค่1ถูกไหมคุณถามแค่คนละ1อาจารย์ต้องตอบ20ถ้าทุกคนถามแบบนี้เหมือนกันถ้าคนนู้นลืมคนนั้นลืมคนนี้ลืมอาจารย์ก็โอ้โหมัน manage ไม่ได้แล้วอาจารย์ไม่ได้สอนวิชานี้วิชาเดียวนะโปรดเข้าใจด้วยนะครับอ่ะThe one that you study in engineering is going to be called mathematical models. Mathematical model is going to be the models that we study in physics. For example, the Newton's law. For example, you have the box here with the mass m. You pull the rope with the force F. It's going to be accelerating with the force with the accelerator A, right? So in this case, we are not actually getting the box, we are not actually getting the rope, put it on the floor and do it. So we are basically we're gonna draw it on the board and then use it to analyze. So we're gonna come up with this one, right? So when we study Pythagoras theorem, for example, you have like this x y c, right? C square will be x square plus y square. This is Pythagoras theorem, right? We are not gonna go and cut the paper and measure the length. We are not gonna do it like that. We just do it on the board in our head. That's why we call it a mathematical model. It's just a model. It's not the real thing, but it's gonna work also in the real world. So the one that you study previously in physics and everything is going to be called deterministic model. What does it mean, deterministic model? For example, Pythagoras, if you know x like this, we have three variables, right? If you know x, you know y, you're going to know the value of c. In this case, if you know m, you know a, you're going to know the value of f. So this is called deterministic. But the one that we are going to study is called probabilistic model. What does it mean, probabilistic model? We are not going to come up with simple equations like this because the system is really complex. For example, if somebody asks you, will it rain tomorrow? You cannot answer this 100%. Why is that? Because the model of the rain is going to be more difficult. Why is more difficult? Think about what going to affect the rain. Temperature, humidity, wind velocity, and then time of day and so forth. A lot of things can affect the raining or not raining, right? The terrain, height, a lot of things. Therefore, we are not gonna come up with some easy equation like fx is gonna be x squared plus 7, something like that. We are not gonna have that kind of thing. It's gonna be really complex, so that we will not know about this one. นะเนื่องจากระบบมันจะซับซ้อนมากตัวแปรมันเยอะมากอย่างเงี้ยคุณจะไปโมเดลว่าโอกาสที่ฝนจะตกใส่ x กำลัง2บวกอะไรเงี้ยแบบสูตรง่ายๆอย่างเงี้ยมันไม่มี therefore we don't know the details of this one. Therefore what we're gonna do is that we study the chance of this one instead. For example, I want to know where stock going up today or not. There are a lot of things that affect, right? How many cases that we have COVID-19 is going to be one thing that affect the stock market go up or down. We have vaccines. When we're going to have the first vaccine, it's going to affect the stock market also. A lot of things will be affecting the stock market. So in this case, we cannot come up with a simple equation like this. That's why it's called in the probabilistic model. And to this course, we are going to study two things. Probability 60% of the time, statistic 40% of the time. Probability is the study of the uncertainty in the system. And statistic is the art of studying the data. นะง่ายๆเลย probability คือศึกษาความเปลี่ยนแปลงในระบบนะ stat ก็คือศึกษาเกี่ยวกับข้อมูลนะเราต้องเกี่ยวเรื่องเรียนรู้เกี่ยวกับการจัดการข้อมูล I'm going to give you the idea about the probability and the statistic. In this sense, probability and statistic they are opposite. In this sense นะในความหมายในที่อาจารย์จะเอามานี่ stat กับ pop นี่มันจะมีความหมายตรงข้ามเลยนะ but they goes hand in hand together. When you study statistics, you need to study probability also. They are friends, but friends at the opposite side นะมันเป็นเพื่อนกันนะแต่ว่ามันเป็นเพื่อนที่อยู่ตรงข้ามกัน Okay, now let's talk about probability. The probability that is gonna be the one that you're most familiar with. For example, I have a bin here, and in the bin I have the white balls and then the black balls. Right? Let's say I have 10 whites and 20 blacks. If I pick one, okay, if I pick one over here, what is the probability that it's gonna be white? It's really simple to compute, right? Because you have 10 and 20, so the probability of white is gonna be 10 out of the total number of the balls, which is 30, so it's 1/3, right? So this is probability that we are very familiar with นะง่ายๆนะป๊อปที่เราเคยศึกษามาแล้วก็ประมาณนี้นะทีนี้มาดูสิ่งที่เราจะทำในตอนเรียนสแตทกัน What about statistics? Statistics is gonna go like this. You have a bin, but you don't know how many white balls in here, and you don't know how many black balls in here. Okay? Then what you're gonna do? You are going to pick some balls. You pick some balls. And then you're gonna count how many whites, how many black. Let's say you have 2 whites, and then you have 5 blacks. And then once you get 2 whites and then 5 blacks, you are trying to estimate the whole thing here. Okay, and this guy is called a sample กลุ่มตัวอย่าง and then this one, how many blacks and how many whites, this one is going to be the totality of the things that we are interested in. Is called population. Okay, this is the idea of the probability and statistics. It's kind of opposite, right? Okay, this one you guess what is in the hand. This one you guess what is in the bin นะเห็นไหมความแตกต่าง probability คือเราจะมาเดาว่าอยู่ในมือคือสีอะไร แต่ถ้าเป็นสแตทเราจะเดาว่าไอ้อยู่ในกล่องเนี้ยมีสีอะไรบ้างกี่อันเห็นไหมประมาณนั้น Another idea of getting the use of the statistic is that if I have a bag of rice grain นะสมมุติจะมีกระสอบข้าวหรือถุงข้าวอยู่อันหนึ่ง I want to know how many bad rice grains in here อยากจะรู้ว่ามีเม็ดเสียได้กี่อัน how many bad rice grains in here you cannot count the whole bag, right? Because there are too many rice grains. You count it when you get old, it's still not finished, right? There are so many rice grains in here. Just like we have the bin here. You don't know how many in here because it's too many to count, right? So what we're gonna do? We're gonna take a look at here. 1 spoon. You take 1 spoon, right? 1 spoon. You pick it here. This is kind of the spoon. You pick 1 spoon and then you count it, right? You're gonna have how many bags? Like 2, and then 1,000, 2 bad and 1,000 good, like that. And then once you get 2 and 1,000, you are trying to estimate the whole bag here. So that is the concept of statistic over here. You have the population, which is here, which is really difficult to do because there are too many. Then we take only a small amount, which is a sample, and do something with it นะสิ่งที่เราทำก็ประมาณนี้แหละ population บางทีเราจัดการไม่ได้มันเยอะเกินนะสิ่งที่เราทำคือเลือกมานิดนึงแล้วก็ศึกษาไอ้ sample ของเราเนี่ยแหละ okay nothing birthday problem we're gonna come back to this later on focus. Okay, if you know how to play poker, you have 52 cards, and then you have to get the best combination of 5 cards. This is called a hand. In one hand, you have 5 cards. 52 cards consists of You have to learn how to play cards, okay? Because we're gonna have one topic dealing with the cards. Also, it might come up in the exam นะใครเล่นไพ่ไม่เป็นก็ต้องเล่นให้เป็นนะเพราะว่าอาจจะมีออกข้อสอบนะครับ so ไพ่หนึ่งสำหรับ a deck you have 52 cards which has 4 suit heart diamond and then what's this one spade and then club นะมันจะมีอยู่ประมาณ4ดอกไม่ใช่ประมาณนะ exactly this one is called the club and this one is a heart diamond spade club you have 4 and then each one of them is gonna start from S 2 3 4 5 6 until 10 after 10 you have gonna be jack is kind of 11 queen and then king and then S is special because it could be here which is gonna mean 1 right S is also can be here S is special it could be at the front or it could be at the back if it is at the back it is the highest if over here it is the lowest okay it depends on the hands how you're gonna interpret this one okay now but most of the time S is not gonna be the lowest S is gonna be the highest that we're gonna use in some cases it's gonna be here also but let's say it's over here so if you have two pairs what is two pairs two pairs is gonna be something like this you have 10 this is a pair right and then jack right and then you have 2 then it's gonna be two pairs this is the property of having two pairs then we're gonna come back to this guy later okay and the biggest hand in poker is gonna be called royal straight flush what is royal straight flush let's talk about the flush first the flush is gonna be when you have the same suit let's say you have 2 3 5 8 9 of the heart okay so in this case it's called the flush however if you have in order 2 3 4 5 6 of the heart it's going to be called straight and since these are all the same suit it's called the flush as well so it's called straight flush and the biggest hand of the poker is called royal straight flush what does it mean royal means it includes jack queen king so royal straight flush is going to be this pattern it's going to be 10 jack queen king s all the same suit could be heart could be diamond could be spade and everything so this is the biggest hand in poker if you have this hand you don't have to be afraid of anyone let's take a look at this one you can see that the poverty is really low compared to the two pair therefore two pair is going to be occur more often therefore it's not a good one this one is going to occur less and less and less so in this case it's going to be the best hand okay we're going to come back to poker later in this case a couple has two children and at least one is a boy what is the probability that both will be boys so how are we going to do this one so normally if you have two children it could be four cases right boy 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 girl girl boy and then girl girl right but it's given that you have at least one is a boy when at least one is a boy oh this one could be the case check this one could be the case also check it could be the case this one cannot be the case right so this one is not going to happen so in this case we have three possibilities now and then what does it mean that what is the probability that the both kids will be boys so we are talking about this one right since you have three possibilities then probability of boy boy is not 1 over 4 anymore at the beginning it is 1 over 4 right after you put this one probability of boy boy is going to be 1 over 3 so this topic is called conditional probability you have a new condition and then it's going to change the probability from 1 over 4 to 1 over 3 okay don't worry about this one Okay, what we're gonna do today is study the set. A set is a collection of the objects, and the objects within the set is sometimes called elements. And we have notation. The capital letters will be for the set itself. So we have a set A like this, a set B like that. A set will be used this one. We'll use this one, the curve bracket. And we have small letters which we reserve for the elements in the set. Oh, okay, something coming. Sorry guys, few minutes. Okay, sorry guys. So we have two special symbol. This one is called membership. This one means X is the member of a set A. This one, Y is not a member of set B. Right, very easy. And we have two special set. U is the universal set, which is everything. Okay, this is everything that we are considered. And this one is nothing, basically. Empty set. Nothing. When let's say A has nothing, we write it like that, like this, or like this, which means A has nothing in it. And this one means how many elements is in A. It's called cardinality of A. For example, A is 1 and 10. Okay, number 1 and number 10. So in this case, the number of elements in A is going to be 2 because we have only 2 elements. And when we write the set, there are two ways to write the set. One is using the list. Really simple, right? This is just what I did. 1, 2. Then you have a set of Coke, Sprite, and Pepsi, like this. And when you use the list, please note that if you use the different orders, they are the same. So order is not important in here. If you have a set A like this, Messi, Suarez, Neymar, and then Messi is gonna be in A because Messi is in A, but Ronaldo is not in A. Okay. Another way to write the set, if there are too many, you can use the rule. For the rule, you are instead of listing them all, we are gonna use something like this. This one is read as follow: B is a set, right? This one is a set. B is equal sign is a set of X, a member of the real number, such that this one is reached such that X is between 0 to 1, inclusive. Okay, this is called the rule. Let's take a look at some examples. Set of engineering school in Thailand. So which one are we going to use? The list or the rule? We cannot use the rule, right? Because we don't know how to write the rule for engineering school in Thailand. So it's better to use the list. So it's going to be Chulalongkorn University, Kasetsart University, King Mongkut Institute of Technology, Lagabang University, and then a bunch of them, our university, AU, Bangkok University, and so forth. A lot of them, right? So this is how we use the list. Set of the mobile phone operators in Thailand, we have what? Advanced, AIS, we have DTAC, we have True. What else do we have? We have what? TOT, CAT stuff, right? We cannot use the rule. We have to use the list. This time I think you can use the rule now. Set of random integer from 1 to 10. If you don't know anything, you just list them. As you can see, we have a lot of numbers to write down, right? Another way to write it is like this. C is a set, right, of X in, not the real number because it's an integer, right? Integer, right? We write like this. Such that X is between 1 to 10, including 1 and including 10. That's it, right? This is how we write it down using the rule. Now, set of lifetime of the light bulb. Are we going to use the list of the rule? We have to use the rule, right? Because lifetime, there are so many, right? It could be 1 hour, 0.01 hour, and so forth. So we're going to use the rule. What is going to be the lifetime of the light bulb? X is going to be the real number, right? In the real number, such that X is greater than or equal to 0. This is the lifetime of the light bulb, because it could be 0, because if it is 0, it means when you turn on, it's die or be immediately. That's going to be 0. We talk about the set. When we compare the set, if it look like this, 1 is inside another, A is inside B. So in this case, we say A is a subset of B. Written, A is a subset of B, like that. When this one happens, it means every single element of A, anything in A, all elements in A, is also the element in B also, right? As you can see in this figure, okay? So in this case, A is a subset of B. For example, if C is the set of AU students, okay, and D is the set of this class, that class, so in this case, C is a subset of D or D is a subset of C. Which one? อันไหนถูกครับ Which one is inside another one? So you can see that
D.
yeah, D is a subset of D, right? If you write it down, it's gonna look like this. So this is a set of AU student D. Sorry, C. A set of AU student, and we are here. We are D here, right? You can see that D is a subset of AU student. What about outside here? What is it? It is AU student who doesn't take our stat class, right? ก็คือนักศึกษา AU ที่ไม่ได้เรียน stat นั่นเองโอเคนะประมาณนี้โอเค so let's take a look at some example. Messi Suarez Neighbor is a set A. B is Suarez Neighbor, and C is Ronaldo and Bale. You can see that B is a subset of A because all elements of B belongs to also A. So in this case, C is not a subset of A, right? So far so good. If you imagine that A is a subset of B, B is a subset of A. Okay, A is inside B, and at the same time, B is inside A. If you think about it, oh, A is inside B, and then at the same time, B is also inside A. So in this case, only way that it can happen is that is when A is equal to B. Okay. So in this case, is it true that if A is equal to B, A is a subset of B and B is a subset of A? Empty set is a subset of every set. Any set is a subset of the universe, right? Universal set. A is a subset of itself. This one is A is a subset of B, B is a subset of C, and then A is a subset of C. So very easy to follow, right? A is a subset of B, and B is a subset of C. So in this case, A is a subset of C as well. Now let's talk about the set operator. The first one that we're gonna take a look is called intersection. Intersection, we are gonna use this symbol A intersects B, which is the set of elements belonging to both A and B. If we have A like this, B like this, the elements that belong to A and B at the same time, both A and B. Note that the keyword that we're going to use is going to be the and, but, therefore, something like that. So in this case, we use intersection, the and, which is this area, denoted by A intersects B like this. A intersect B is a set of X such that X is in A and X is in B, like this. So now you have to remember intersection is this guy, okay? Now let's take a look at the concrete example. You have A, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, B, and then C, like this. What is going to be the intersection? You can see the intersection, we have to find the common, the overlap, which is going to be the 2 here, right? 3 and 4. So this one is going to be 3, 4, like this. But over here, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Then you have to write down C and D. C is 0 to 2, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. 0 to 2, so we have it like this. Including equal sign, so it's going to be a black dot. If it is like this, it's going to be a white dot. For this, it's going to be a black one. And then we have 1 to 3 for D, right? So 1 to 3 for D. So you can see that the overlap is going to be over here. So what's going to be? A set of X in the real number. According to the figure, it's going to be from 1 to 2. So that's C intersect D, right? If you think about intersection like this, but they don't have anything in common. The element in A will not be in B. The element in B is not going to belong in A. For example, male and female, right? You are going to have male is male, female is female, right? So in this case, it's called disjoint, or sometimes called mutually exclusive, but I prefer to call the disjoint. Mutually exclusive is kind of too fancy. It doesn't give you anything exclusive. What does it mean exclusive, right? Disjoint is going to be more meaningful. No joint. It means the intersection is empty. It's not zero, it's empty. The next one that we're gonna do is called the union. The union, the keyword is gonna be the or. A union B. This is the symbol that we're gonna use. A union B is a set of X when X in A or X in B. X could be in A or X could be in B. Therefore, A union B is gonna be this guy. A union B. Okay, now I think I will try to give you some in-class assignments so that you guys gonna learn how to submit the assignment. So this is the in-class. I'm gonna give you few minutes to do it. Okay, guys, do this one and submit. In the meantime, I'm going to create the in-class assignment for you guys to submit. นะเดี๋ยวเราจะมาลองส่งแบบฝึกหัดกันนะ Use the iPad or write down on the paper and submit when you take the photos. นะถ่ายรูปส่งก็ได้หรือเขียนบน iPad ส่งก็ได้ Submit in the Microsoft Team นะ ครับอย่าลืมนะครับส่งถึง11 โมงนะครับถ้าส่ง11 โมงก็ส่งไปได้แล้วนะ10:59นะครับ I hope you see the IC1 in your Microsoft team and then you have to submit in here. Okay, don't forget to click submit อย่าลืมคลิก submit ด้วยนะครับ
อาจารย์คะ
ครับว่าไงครับ
อาจารย์คะต้องส่งเป็นไฟล์หรือว่าส่งเป็นรูปได้ไหมคะ
ได้ทั้ง2 อย่างเลยจ้ะจะส่งเป็นรูปแบบถ่ายมาแล้วก็ส่งมาก็ได้แล้วแต่สะดวก
โอเคค่ะขอบคุณค่ะ
จ้าอ๋อแต่ว่าถ้าในข้อสอบเนี่ยส่งเป็น PDF นะแต่เดี๋ยวค่อยว่ากัน
ได้
เดี๋ยว
ค่ะอาจารย์
นะ Okay, guys, when you submit the in class homework, anything, it can be the photo is okay. But if it is the quiz and the exam, you have to submit the PDF because in Microsoft Team, if it is PDF, I can zoom in easily. If you submit JPEG photos, I cannot zoom in. That's gonna be very difficult for me to grade. โอเคนะประมาณนี้เพราะว่าถ้าเป็น PDF อาจารย์จะซูมดูได้เขียนตัวเล็กตัวใหญ่เนี่ยเขียนดูได้โอเคคิดว่าคงทำเสร็จกันแล้วนะอันนี้ง่ายเดี๋ยวเราไปต่อ we gonna keep moving so this one is a union right union is easy it's kind of the combining them so it's gonna be 0 1 2 3 4 you can write a immediately because it's gonna include a right then now you have 3 so you don't have to write another 3 because 3 is already there then you don't write 3 again 4 you don't write 4 again because it's already there and then 5 6 that's it right and if you have C union D like this we go back to the figures that over here you can see that C is here D is here you kind of combine them the combining them is going to be here so it's going to be from 0 to 3 right so it's going to be a set of x in the real number such that x is 0 to 3 inclusive okay that's really easy now the difference another operator now you have seen two operators intersection union and now it's the difference is kind of the minus denoted by this one a minus b basically a minus b is a intersect b bar we're going to talk about b bar a little bit later but I'm going to give you as a head start this one is going to be the opposite of b b bar คือตรงข้ามกับ b ง่ายๆ so this one a minus b is a intersect b bar this is a useful equation that you have to remember นะจำไว้ก็ดี a minus b is a intersect b bar but what is the meaning of a minus b a minus b means it is in a but not in b alright you can see that I can read this one clearly is in a intersection I told you that is this the and or the but right it is the and or it is a but so in this case we can read this one easily it is in a but not in b b bar right b bar is not in b b is in b b bar is not in b so it is a minus b therefore it's in a but not in b all elements in a but not in b so in this case it's going to be in a but not in b we cannot use this part because this part is going to be in b because our b is in here right so this one is going to be a minus b as you can see this part that I'm drawing here this one is what is it b minus a right and what's this part that I'm having here do change the color right here this part what is it a intersect b right this part is a minus b and as you can see if I combining them a minus b a union b oh sorry not a union b a intersects b a intersect b right this part and this part b minus a b minus a as you can see if I combine them what's gonna be the result it's gonna be everything here right which is a union b what is the operator that I have to use over here ต้องใช้ operator อะไร how to combine them like this don't use the add นะ we use combining them we use the union we don't have a plus b, we don't have a by b, we don't have a divided by b like this, we don't have them, we have only a minus b นะครับ a บวกไม่มี a คูณ b ไม่มี a หาร b ไม่มีมี a ลบ b อย่างเดียวlet's try another one in class. If you submit it already, it's okay. You can add it late another one, okay? But I recommend you every time you have the in class, you don't have to submit it right away. Wait until at the end of the class and submit it one time. นะถ้าใครทำเป็นรูปก็อาจจะค่อยๆส่งทยอยส่งทีละรูปทีละรูปหรือใครจะทำเป็น PDF ส่งรวดเดียวตอนหลังเลยก็ได้เพราะว่าในคลาสหนึ่งเนี่ยจันจะมี in class แบบนี้หลายอันแต่จะใส่รวมเข้าไปใน in class หนึ่งแค่อันเดียวใน in class วันนี้แค่อันเดียว so I'm going to combine everything in one place that you have to submit so I'm gonna put everything to the same one so I'm gonna come here and then update my assignment so most of you already handed here you can also check the instruction what happened I cannot click on this one oh I have to take a screenshot mm.
อาจารย์คะ
ครับ
ถ้าหนูกดส่งของรูปเมื่อกี้ไปแล้วหนูยังสามารถกดอันนี้ได้ไหมคะ
ได้จ้ะเหมือนมันจะแอดเข้าไปได้อ่ะมันจะสามารถเปลี่ยนได้เรื่อยๆจนกว่าจะหมดเดดไลน์เลยจ้ะไม่ต้องกังวล
อ๋อโอเคค่ะอาจารย์ขอบคุณค่ะ
เรียนกันต่อ Another one that I already talked about this one is the A bar. A bar is the opposite of A. So what is it? A bar is a set of X when X is in the sample space. S is here is called sample space, which is the universal set, the same thing. And X is not in A. So A bar is going to be here. It's not in A. So A bar is here. So that's A bar. Okay. It's called the complement of set A. เดี๋ยวนี้การทำให้ดูก็แล้วกัน if this is a sample space A is here not in A is going to be only these two right so it's going to be 5 and 6 if X is from 0 to 2 right so this is B so it's from here to here 0 to 2 so including 0 including 2 so what is this going to be for the not in B not in B is going to be over here and over here right so basically it's going to be less than 0 note that I'm going to use a white dot over here and greater than 2 so it's going to be X in R X is less than 0 and also this one right? Which is X greater than 2. What operator are we going to use here? We have to combine them. What is the operator for combining? Union. ครับต้องใช้ union นะถ้าใช้ intersect what's going to happen if you have x less than 0 and x is greater than 2 if you use intersection it's going to become empty set because you can see that there's no overlap here x less than 0 and x greater than 2 they are disjoint in this case if you remember disjoint จำได้ไหม disjoint disjoint คือ A กับ B อยู่แยกกันแบบนี้อยู่แยกกันไม่มี overlap อย่างนี้มันก็ไม่มี overlap ถูกไหม x น้อยกว่า0อยู่นี้ x มากกว่า2อยู่นี้ไม่มี overlap เลยอย่างนี้ก็คือ disjoint they are disjoint so we have to use the union เดี๋ยวเอาอีกสัก2หน้าแล้วก็น่าจะพอละค่อยๆเริ่มนี่วันแรก so let's continue a little bit if you use your imagination a little bit so you can see that A intersect with the A bar what's gonna happen this is your A this is your A bar there's no overlap right intersection would be empty set not 0 once again A intersect B cannot be 0 because this is a set this is a set this is the operator and this is a number นี่คือตัวเลข this will be the set cannot be equal to the number that's the whole that's totally wrong for me นะอันนี้คือผิดอย่างมากเลยสำหรับอาจารย์นะใครเขียนอย่างนี้มาจะโดนหักคะแนนเพราะอันนี้เป็นตัวเลขมันไม่ใช่เซตคุณจะเอาเซตเท่ากับตัวเลขมันไม่ใช่ไงเหมือนคุณบอกเครื่องบินเท่ากับจักรยานเนี่ยมันคนละอย่างกันคุณเอามาเทียบกันอย่างนี้มันไม่ได้มันคนละคลาสกันอันอย่างนี้ต่อไป A union A complement A is here union A complement so what's going to be the sample space or universal set A double complement A bar bar is going to come back to A right and A intersect B is B intersect A union B union A it's called commutative law associative law if you have intersection union you can do any pair first when we write it like this it means we have to do the parenthesis first we have to do B intersect C first and then you do this one second A intersect B intersect C right it's gonna be equal to A intersect B and then intersect C you can do any pair first นะเราจะทำคู่ไหนก่อนก็ได้แต่ต้องทำในวงเล็บก่อน okay it's going to be the same associative law distributive law is similar to the is distributive law right if you have 1 multiplied by 2 plus 3 what's going to be 1 multiplied by 2 plus 1 multiplied by 3 right the same thing here A intersect B union C you just do the same like this. So it's going to be A intersect B union A intersect C like that. Be careful with the operator over here นะครับดูลำดับตรงนี้ให้ดีนะครับ this one is a cool one. I think it's the most important also. If you have A intersect B, the whole thing bar. A intersect B, not at the bar is a big bar right here. And then we can break it down. When we break it down, it's going to become A bar. Intersection will become union and then B bar like this. So it will be A intersect A bar union B bar. Sorry. The same thing. If you have A union B, the whole thing bar, A union B, the whole thing bar, it's going to become A bar intersect B bar. You're going to see the use maybe next time. เดี๋ยวเราจะมาดูวิธีใช้อันนี้กัน เดี๋ยวได้ใช้แน่นอน มันมีประโยชน์เหมือนกันอันนี้ I'm going to prove this one using the Venn diagram. The one that we draw all the time like this is called the Venn diagram. นะไอ้ที่อาจารย์วาดแบบนี้เขาเรียก Venn diagram นะครับ Normally, if you have A, you're going to draw it like this. Only one set. If you have two sets, it's going to be A and B like this. If you have three sets, it's going to be drawing like this. A, B, C. นะถ้าเรามี2 3เนี่ยได้ If you have 4, what's going to happen? What do you think how we going to draw it? ถ้ามี4เนี่ยเราจะวาดยังไงไหนใครบอกอาจารย์ได้ไหมลองนึกภาพดูก็ได้เฮ้ยถ้ามี4 A B C D แล้วเราจะวาดยังไงลองเดาดิ If you have 4, you cannot draw it. Okay, if you cannot draw it easily, because if it is 4, what's gonna happen? It's gonna look like the pyramid. You have 3, and then you put another one on top. Okay, it might look like this. Okay, but this one is gonna be 2D, which is not correct. You have to imagine that it is gonna be 3 balls like this, right, and another ball on top. นะลองวาดเป็นรูป3 มิติอ่ะ You have to use 3D for ABCD, which you cannot draw on the paper. Okay, so we can draw this only ABC. นะวาดได้แค่ ABC. Now we're gonna use the Venn diagram to prove this one. What is this? I think it is this one, distributive law. When you prove it, you use the left and the right. Okay, I'm gonna draw the left hand side first. This one is A, B, C. Oh, it should be the same size. A intersect B union C. So we know that we have to do the parenthesis first, right? So B union C is this part. Okay. And then you intersect with the A. So intersect with the A, only this part intersect with the A. So that's really the result. นะผลลัพธ์ก็คืออันนี้ถูกไหม Now you do the right hand side. The right hand side. You have A, B, C. You do A intersect B first. A, B. Don't forget to write A, B, C. A intersect B is this one. A intersect C. A intersect C is this one. And then what you're gonna do with them? Union. So union them is gonna combine all of them. So basically, they are equal, right? Left and right, they are equal. So this one is QED, finished proof, right? Done. Okay, next time we're gonna come to this one, rain, cold, and stuff like that. That will be all for today, guys. Don't forget to submit the assignment. Any questions so far? มีคำถามไหมหมดแล้ววันนี้หมุนเครื่องไปก่อนคลาสแรกเอาแค่นี้ใช่อย่าลืมส่งการบ้านนะครับโอเค see you guys on Thursday. Good luck. Bye bye.
Thank you ครับ
ขอบคุณค่ะ
ครับสวัสดีครับ
Thank you. Thank you.